Italian champion, and of course Ferrari's biggest fan, as we are reporting from the final round of this triple header in the Americas, which is of course the Brazilian Grand Prix taking place at the legendary Interlagos circuit. And we've just seen a very exciting sprint race, very exciting, very similar to the one that I've done myself, as it featured some great fight for the lead, and obviously the leaders were just separated by a single second or so on. So really a great race. So here in this exclusive race reaction to the penultimate sprint race of the 2024 Formula 1 season, we will tell you everything about it, and then we will also take a look at what it means for the Drivers' Championship, for the Constructors' Championship. It's both kind of heating up, and then we will take a look and of course kind of preview that big race, the Grand Prix, which will be very important, and some important changes could happen during the Grand Prix. So are you guys ready? Of course you are. So let's take a look over here. So obviously you've already seen me showing you the circuit. You've seen me doing that great qualifying in the sprint race with this SF1000 T818 Trustmaster Formula 1 Racing Simulator. And yes, Ferrari is on the podium, but I have to say that it's disappointing that it's only third place and fifth, courtesy obviously of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. And what a pity that we didn't challenge the McLarens, even though I definitely think we had a pace. But as you know, during the sprint race, in qualifying, the McLarens locked the front row. They were once again about 2/10 up on us, so we did know that obviously wasn't ideal. Very similar place to, for example, what we had in Austin. So as a result, when we saw that happening, we knew that it was gonna be tough in a race. But in a Grand Prix, it can be different depending on obviously how many stops we will have and what will happen as you go later on in the stint, and the tires maybe start to degrade or not. So the surprise obviously was that Piastri was on pole position. We were nicely lined up behind, but yeah, basically after the first turn, Verstappen, he did attack that turn one really hard and almost took out the Norris. He even locked the front wheels, so that was certainly dangerous. But yeah, again, it shows that the pressure is building up on the Red Bulls. And then yeah, we settled into the rhythm. So you had Piastri and Norris, which obviously caused a lot of the headaches, and the orange team, which wouldn't be the case, and the fashionable red team, right? Of course. And yeah, they would be fighting there always within a second, and Leclerc did a good job, being able to stay within 1 second of the McLarens, and I believe he had a chance to attack Norris, but obviously they always played, this team game when, for example, Piastri would slow down a little bit, especially through the final few corners, to give Lando Norris that DRS, and from that it was pretty much impossible, even though you do have quite a long straight, unless the other guy doesn't have a battery, it would be impossible to really, have a run at him, and try to, for example, steal that inside line into turn one, or for example, go around the outside and then, get an advantage in that second DRS zone after the Ferrari. So overall, that's pretty much what the race was for the first 10-15 laps. When you had Piastri, Norris, then you had Leclerc, and you had Verstappen obviously keeping in touch with Leclerc. Sadly, Carlos Sainz, he dropped back a little bit. So, it was really all at the start, but, there is a short rundown to turn one, so hard to do anything there. But definitely, if we could manage to qualify behind the McLarens, it would be imperative, to put them under the pressure, to get ahead of Norris, because I do believe that while obviously the title fight, is everybody knows what's at stake, right? Obviously, you also don't want to kind of interfere with the Drivers' Championship fight, but for Leclerc, he's still closer to Norris than Norris is to Verstappen, so any chance being second in the championship, why not? But once again, there were only maybe 2 or 3 laps when Leclerc really had a chance to maybe have a run at Norris, and then the big problem would be, okay, once you are behind only one McLaren, I do believe you would be able to overtake them. So that's definitely something we're considering in the race. With Sainz, it's hard to say, didn't he have a pace, or, what exactly the issue was. A little bit disappointing, and this is, I think, exactly why Scuderia Ferrari decided to hire Lewis Hamilton, who had to fight from the bank, the future Ferrari driver. Yes, because basically with Sainz, okay, he is the Mexico GP winner, right? We expected him to do well, but sadly, basically one race, you look like you could be challenging for the world title, and another race, you are a clear number 2, basically not being able to keep up, which is a real pity, because what happened was that the race went fine. You know, Leclerc on lap 18, he did make a bit of a mistake in a Senna assist, and you know, Verstappen was making fun of him, like, hey Charles, you know, how come he, you know, making so many mistakes? Come on, you know, that's not nice. You know, I think he's a little bit cocky with that attitude, and I think it's gonna come back to bite him, and it did. You know, and that was when the virtual safety car came out because of the stricken Hülkenberg's car, and you know, he then got too close to Piastri. McLaren did that switchback on lap 22, as you probably know, so that Norris would get the full amount of points, because again, you know, he's within a chance of getting the title. And you know, Verstappen was just too close to Piastri, so he's got an advantage of about 0.8 seconds. It was slammed with a 5-second penalty, and Leclerc, despite finishing 4th on the road, was then on that sprint podium again. Great kind of the plates, the accolades being presented by Emerson Fittipaldi, the double champion from Brazil. That was definitely nice to see. I think that sprint podium could be more exciting, right? What do you think? Of course, right? So please let me know in the comments below. Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much how it finished. So really the opportunity was, you know, get behind Norris. You know, maybe he has more to lose, so aggressively get past him and then be able to DRS Piastri, because obviously he would not be able to have the DRS, and that's how we could have won the sprint race. With Sainz, I guess maybe he will have a better setup in the race. We don't know. We had to use the medium tires, so we will see what happens when we use the hard, what happens if we use the soft, and also the weather conditions will play a part. But yeah, in the end, that's how it finished. So Norris, Piastri, and then we are at least 3rd, but we lost the ground in the Constructors' Championship. Verstappen 4th, Sainz 5th, and Russell obviously already distant 6th there. So we will now show it to you what that means for the Constructors' Championship. So again, far from ideal, we lost 5 points, but you know, that can be recovered with a strong Grand Prix victory. So let's go! Alright, so here, let me show it to you how it looks like at the moment. So Norris winning the sprint over here. Good job to him. I mean, that's really what he needed to do, just from half a second from Piastri, who, yeah, I think he had 2 qualifying runs in the sprint qualifying, so that definitely, you know, did help him, but I believe Norris overall is faster here. Then we had Verstappen there, but he dropped 5 seconds, so then you had Leclerc, Verstappen, and Sainz, of course, and you can see, you know, then Russell, then Gasly finished ahead of Perez, who had another terrible race fighting with Liam Lawson, who's maybe likely to take his place, and then Albon getting the 10th place. So Perez was the last, you know, to get the points. This is what it means for the Drivers' Championship. So Verstappen leading with 367 points, 323 for Norris, being 44 points behind, Leclerc 297. Then we have Piastri 258, Sainz 244. Again, he closed up thanks to the Mexico GP victory, but lackluster performance in a sprint is costing him. And then Lewis Hamilton 189, George Russell 180, Perez 151, Alonso 62, Hülkenberg, who retired 31. You can clearly see, you know, I think not much will be changing there. For the constructors, as we see our beautiful cars, beautiful Scarlet Ferrari. Over here, McLaren is now leading with 581 points. Ferrari has 547 points, so we are 34 points behind. You know, again, that pretty much means that we would, you know, have to win and, you know, get the 2nd place, and McLaren cannot get more than 10 points. Red Bull Racing 518, they're pretty much out of the Constructors' Championship, you know, especially with Perez being non-scorer most of the time. And 369 Mercedes-Benz, Aston Martin 86, so they will stay there with 4th and 5th. But yeah, overall, as we can see that nice background there in Brazil, I think this was an exciting sprint, you know, because again, you know, the drivers, they had to be on their toes every single lap over here to make sure that they can really make it, and yeah, they can you know, challenge obviously for the sprint victory. So it bodes well for the Grand Prix, because I think it's far from decided. The qualifying will be crucial, so we definitely hope that as Ferraris we can, you know, place it on pole position. You know, I mean, I showed that 1:08 so 1 minute 8 seconds flag 8.0 is definitely possible. Norris did 8.9. So come on, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, you guys can put it on pole position so that Ferrari can make it 3 out of 3 in the Americas. What do you think? We cannot wait for the race over here to conclude this triple header. Before we go through to the final triple header, get hold of that Constructors' Championship, maybe even the Drivers' Championship, and finally celebrate victories. Forza Ferrari!